Regarding readily accessible disconnecting means, specifically a circuit breaker on a rooftop unit located behind a cover secured by 2 screws, the answer is no, it would not be considered readily accessible. Readily accessible, as defined by electrical codes and standards, implies capable of being reached quickly for operation, without requiring those to whom ready access is requisite to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders, chairs, etc. It's important to understand the reasoning behind this requirement. The purpose of a disconnecting means is to provide a way to quickly and safely de-energize equipment for maintenance, repair, or in emergency situations. If the disconnecting means requires tools, such as a screwdriver to remove screws securing a cover, it adds a delay and impedes immediate access. This delay could be critical in an emergency. Now let's break down the key aspects. 1. Accessibility. The disconnecting means must be easily reachable. A rooftop unit, by its nature, often requires climbing a ladder to access it. This already presents a potential obstacle. However, the additional requirement of removing screws negates the concept of ready accessibility. 2. Speed of operation. In an emergency, seconds can matter. Fumbling for a screwdriver, removing the screws, and then opening the cover to access the circuit breaker introduces unacceptable delays. 3. Safety. The very purpose of a readily accessible disconnecting means is to enhance safety. Requiring tools to access it compromises this safety goal. The National Electrical Code, (ONEC), emphasizes the importance of readily accessible disconnecting means for various types of equipment, including heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, or HVAC, units on rooftops. The specific requirements can be found in the NEC Article 440.14 for air conditioning and refrigerating equipment and related articles for general disconnecting means requirements. The NEC seeks to ensure that qualified personnel can quickly de-energize the equipment in a safe manner. Imagine a scenario where an electrician is working on the rooftop unit and needs to quickly shut off the power. If the circuit breaker is behind a screwed cover, they would need to locate their tools, potentially climb down the ladder to retrieve them, and then climb back up to remove the screws. This is not a readily accessible situation. Let's consider alternative acceptable solutions. A readily accessible disconnecting means might be a circuit breaker in a panel with a hinged cover that can be easily opened without tools. Or it could be a disconnect switch mounted directly on the unit, also with an easily opened cover. These alternatives allow for immediate access and operation. Another point to consider is the potential for environmental factors to affect the screws. Over time, the screws could corrode or become seized, making it even more difficult to remove the cover and access the circuit breaker. This further undermines the concept of ready accessibility. In summary, a circuit breaker on a rooftop unit located behind a cover secured by 2 screws does not meet the definition of readily accessible because it requires tools and adds unacceptable delays in accessing and operating the disconnecting means. This compromises safety and violates the intent of electrical codes and standards.